What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Was looking forward to doing everything last night. Got all of my preparation done here, even though I'm over in Reno/Lake Tahoe, hanging out here for the weekend, and then heading back here early Monday morning. Going to be on Kyle Kern's show. If you guys want to check that out at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Looking forward to that, of course. But sorry that this is coming out a lot later than it normally does. We had some technical difficulties, and not even with this internet situation, even though it looks like I might be in the Blair Witch Project. But anyway, let's get ourselves to the picks here. 12 games. We got a doubleheader starting it off, and some pitching matchups that changed from last night to early this morning as I'm recording at 5 a.m. So looking forward to talking you through all of that. Check out Bet365. It's brand new now in Pennsylvania as well. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. And without further ado, producer Jacob, hello, good morning. Let's get to the picks. We begin our day here with the Baltimore Orioles newly acquired Zach Eflin taking on now Yariel Rodriguez. It was originally going to be Chris Bassett on the Toronto side. That is switched. So one of those interesting things that last night, I'm breaking it down one way. And obviously with the early morning, don't expect 5 a.m. recordings coming from me too often, that's for sure. But again, I wanted to get this out here for the people because I do think that there's some really good plays here. I don't think it's necessarily going to be here at these kind of prices. Woke up to some really interesting numbers, and I think game one's probably going to be a pass for me at 3 o'clock noon. I know a lot of people like to bet those island games, so I'll make it a lean like here on the Baltimore run line here. Zach Eflin, I do think, is going to be a lot better than Yariel Rodriguez going forward. He's had a pretty good expected ERA despite north of a 4 ERA. So the newly acquired Zach Eflin, looking forward to seeing him here for the Baltimore Orioles. So if you really want it, I think that that's the way to go about this game. As for game two, I'm going to call it Gunnar Henderson just for the sake that we only know Mr. Francis. Bowden Francis will be on the mound here. 16-degree launch angle, 458 expected slugging. When you see those two things right off the bat, I gotta think anything better than plus 320 is gonna look really nice. I did the math on it, and wouldn't you know, plus 325 or better, bet Gunnar Henderson here in this spot. Now we begin the lights here. Cleveland taking on Detroit in this one, and I do really like the under here in this one. If I had to be calling the best play from the entire day or whatever that would be, the lock thing that apparently I still can't figure out for the people, but Tanner Bybee, Jack Flaherty, these guys are just at the top of their games right now. And Jack Flaherty, this might be his audition, if you will. Detroit would it would behoove them to have a great outing from Jack Flaherty in this spot, try to potentially lure some teams into throwing a lot of prospects here at the wall before the July 30th deadline. That is Tuesday, friends. It is Monday. That is going to be a wild 24, carry the one, like 30 hours or so that we have now between now and that deadline coming to fruition. But under 7. Pretty clear cut for me. Two really quality starting pitchers. You have the entire Cleveland bullpen that just continues to rock, and the Phillies bullpen continues to get better. So I know that, or not the Phillies bullpen. What am I talking about? I'm so freaking tired. Anyway, Cleveland, Detroit. Detroit, not the greatest bullpen, but Cleveland, bam, fire it up under 7. I'm done talking. The Yankees and the Phillies up next. Under 9, going to be a clear-cut one for me here, too. I'll kind of just speed this up for you because there's not a whole lot to say other than Luis Gil is really good. And now the market's just kind of soured on him, it would seem, because looking at a 9 total here against Philadelphia, now talking about the bullpen that I was going to allude to in the next segment. Could you tell this was coming here? Another under. Yes, we're going under 7, then under 9. That is the opening number here at this one. I don't understand it. I do think that this is a pretty large number. The wind slightly blowing in. You're starting to see not as favorable hitting conditions as what we had maybe 2-3 weeks ago there in Philadelphia when the wind was blowing out and it was playing like a little league park. I don't know. It still plays like a little league park for Kyle Schwarber. Nice double dog on Sunday. Brings back fond memories. But under 9, I like it. We continue on our merry way. The Cubbies, the Cincinnati Reds up next, and we just had under 7, under 9. No way I like another under, right? Right? It'd be really weird if it wasn't the under now here at this point in time, but we got an interesting trade that went down. We got Isaac Paredes. I don't think he'll be with the Cubs here yet. Ends up getting moved for Christopher Morel, who the Cubs always hated this guy. He was batting ninth even when he was smashing baseballs last season. Took him a long time to work up in the order, kind of landed on 5th, 6th here of late. And Christopher Morel, I will say Isaac Paredes is going to be better long-term. I think that's kind of the valuation of most scouts. That's the way Zip, Steamer kind of look at these guys going forward too. But again, Christopher Morel, hopefully a change of scenery can, maybe a team that just really wants him there in Tampa Bay, or, is at least willing to give him a shot to be an elite player, to be one of those highly paid guys. But I don't know if that'll be in the cards, but he definitely was undervalued by this Cubs team. That's for sure. Anyway, let's talk about the pitching in this one, because that's kind of what matters most. Jameson Taillon, Carson Spires. I think the under looks really, really nice here. Jameson Taillon kind of does it a little bit differently. No great strikeout stuff, but a 2.96 ERA. Can't really, over 1,500 pitch sample size this season, 3.69 expected ERA. Just fire up the under again. Yes, 3 straight unders. Go 2 for 3. That looks really, really nice. 3 in a row. That looks even nicer. The Minnesota Twins, the New York Mets. I have absolutely nothing from this one. Probably my least favorite spot on the entire slate if I had to be breaking it down that way. And, generally speaking, we have a lot of Twins games for and against on this program, because when you follow a team as much as I follow the Minnesota Twins, you become very, very aware of line movement. You become very, very aware of pitching staffs and the bullpens and how this breaks down on a case-by-case sample size. Matt Wallner now batting higher in the lineup there, third, starting to look like the AAA god that was promised from the left side. Trevor Larnach, 501 expected slugging. Byron Buxton, Jose Miranda, Max Kepler. Royce Lewis got a day off on Sunday, so I expect him to be back in this lineup. Looking as though a decent enough spot here to look at some runs, but at 8.5, I just can't pull the trigger here with Simeon Woods Richardson on one side. I know the Mets have been, quote, what the kids call hot, and Jose Quintana continues to outperform his peripherals. So I'm just going to be passing all the way around. Over 8.5 if you absolutely must, but just a lean. Nice and quickly, Odd Shopper friends, OS Premium Tools, Discord Insider Access, $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly. And if you use promo code Lindy, get yourself 20% off of that right now. You got expert picks, Discord Premium Tools. That's where you can find me, friends. And then get some of the best tools in the betting industry right at your fingertips. We're talking down at the link below, a great app to be utilizing as well. Check out everything we have here at Odd Shopper. Back to the picks. I promise I'm not just, I like shiny toys too. Shiny toys are fun, but Randy Arozarena, the new shiny toy here in-house for Seattle. And, well, he gets to go into a great hitting ballpark here in Boston right from the get-go and in a pretty advantageous spot against Nick Pivetta for power. Now, Nick Pivetta has the great strikeout stuff, 29.5% K rate, but with a 9.9% barrel percentage, and we're starting to see signs of life from one Randy Arozarena, up to a 42% hard hit, 337 xWOBA. He's really turned his season around, and he found himself in a pretty decent spot here in Boston up against Pivetta. And, on the other side of this one, Logan Gilbert, we're not going to go pick on him. These numbers look pretty efficient to me, but not in the home run department. Randy Arozarena was plus 375 at BetMGM. I was happy to fire that up right from the get-go. I took a little piece of that. Might take a little bit more if the numbers still plus 375. So jump in on that if you can right now. I had anything better than plus 325 or plus 350. I had 2 different baselines there, just based on the fact that if you're betting on FanDuel, you have to acquire some type of risk, just because if he's not in the lineup for whatever freaking reason, it's live action if he pinch hits or anything else. But it's Randy Arozarena, and he's playing in this one, and so the baseline is pretty much concrete there. Plus 325 or better, fire it up. Texas and Seattle. I don't really, Texas and St. Louis. Again, I just talked about Seattle. I'm like merging these 2 games together. I should probably have some coffee, but Nolan Gorman under 0.5 hits. Not going to be the most popular play on people's bingo cards, but he's down there in the 8 hole. And this is kind of an interesting spot going up against Nathan Eovaldi, who's just fastball over and over, but low launch, 306 xWOBA, really good number, and limits barrels, not as well as Andre Palante on the other side, 4.6% barrel percentage, but I do like a small play on Nolan Gorman under 0.5 hits. To back money lines coming your way, Atlanta. This is the first one that I do like. I think anything that you're looking at with plus money in front of it is going to be very, very nice here. We've got Holmes, we've got Colin Ray, and this guy just continues to tilt me. 279 expected batting average, 344 xWOBA, but just bet against him whenever you can. Grant Holmes, he's all right. 241 expected batting average, 354 expected slugging, 23.6% K rate. We're going to see some iffy stuff here. We're going to probably see a lot of bullpen action, but that generally is a spot I want to be invested in baseball teams. So yeah, plus money here on the road against Milwaukee. I'll take Atlanta. I know it's not going to be popular. Also, we'll say this. If they lose this game, we're going to be taking a look at to not make the playoffs. Atlanta Braves odds. Mets are surging. Just saying. Just saying. Next up, we got Kansas City taking on the White Sox, flexing in his candy paint, rolling dang, sip and drink on an 84 swing. Somebody's like, oh, it's Flossin, Eric. Yeah, no, but I don't know a pitcher named Flossin. Sorry. Alec Marsh on the other side, 347 xWOBA, 273 expected batting average. Not generally somebody I'd want to back in this kind of a spot, but I do think you have to build in some risk of White Sox hitters getting pulled in Christopher Morel style. You have teams that want to get after Eloy Jimenez and Tommy Pham and Luis Robert and these guys. Obviously, both of the pitchers and Garrett Crochet. Again, there's no audition coming for Chris Flexen here in this spot. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say here. That's why I like the Kansas City money line, even at minus 164 in FanDuel, but that's a market discrepancy. Minus 175 pretty much everywhere else, so jump on FanDuel and get that. Friends, Pennsylvania, you just got Bet365. Head to the link below, sign up, and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. And you're going to get 50 spins there on the old machines there virtually. Great stuff from Bet365. I mean, I don't really have to add anything to this. When you bet $5, you get $150. Seems like a pretty awesome deal to me. So Pennsylvania, you just got it live in your state. It's there in Arizona, New Jersey. So many great spots. Check it out. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks. Pitt at Houston, under 7.5, just going to be a lean for me. I'm not going to be touching this game with a 10-foot pole. I don't know how you touch it with a 10-foot pole, but Paul Skeens kind of has a 10-foot pole. Don't bet his strikeout prop, guys. Just stop. Just stop. And we finish out with a play, Washington and Arizona. I like Juan Yepez here for over 1.5 total bases. Here are kind of the reasons why and what's laid out for me. It's a struggling lefty here in Jordan Montgomery. It's an increase of, just drastic proportions. 296 expected batting average for this season, 353 xWOBA. And Juan Yepez didn't really work out for him in St. Louis, but up to a 417 expected slugging, 349 xWOBA there. I like the 1.5 total bases at plus 130, plus 135. Those are kind of your prevailing numbers right now, plus 135 over at DraftKings. Give me that all day. Let's get the heck out of here. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist here on the board. I'm going to be on Kyle Kerm's show here at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Be back in the home base. Looking forward to that here, but I got a plane to catch, so I'm going to get myself the heck up out of here. Have a great day, everybody. Until next time, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Monday.